Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make Clarence's house from the show Clarence. If you enjoy this tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button. I'd really appreciate that. I'm actually trying to hit 1,000 likes on this video. I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that like button and let me know that you appreciate the cartoon build series. It's one of my favorite series to keep doing, and I'd just like to see that you guys like it as well. Oh, and also, if you do want to check out any more cartoon related builds by me, not only should you hit that subscription button and click the little bell next to it, but you should check out the card system and the description below for all of the other cartoon related builds that I have made in the past and the future. It depends when you're watching this. But without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me show you how to make this very simple yet awesome looking house. So before we begin, I should let you know that this house will require a 39 block by a 28 block area. 39 across the front and 28 going towards the back. Now, I would make sure that I have even a little bit more space than this just to be safe. You also need all of these materials that I have in my inventory right now. We're going to be starting off with the ones that I've just loaded into my hotbar, but do make sure that you have them all. I don't think we need any more, but you never know. Make sure that you've got them all, and we can then begin. So, I'm going to start off with a row of 6 yellow concrete coming up from the ground. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm then going to do 4 upright diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Followed by 4 bottom right diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're then going to do 2 things. First, we're going to connect down to the ground, but we're also going to take that 4th block, which is of course this one, and we're going to extend it backwards by 1, and then we're going to go right by 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. We now want to do 2 things. First, we want to connect it down to the ground using 3 yellow concrete. 1, 2, 3. Followed by 2 yellow terracotta. 1, 2. We also want to extend each terracotta to the left by 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And the row on top of that also. We then want to go left of the yellow concrete just above the terracotta, and we want to do 4 glass. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 yellow concrete. 1, 2. 4 glass. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 2 yellow concrete. We then want to add another row of the materials that we've just placed on top of this row. So you want to take all of the glass and all of the yellow and place another row directly on top. What you then want to do though, is you want to take that second row of yellow that you placed and you want to extend it all the way across to the left, shrinking this area that we have right here. You can then actually place another row of yellow behind the right hand side of the garage, so like in this position here, just so that the row that we placed has something to connect to and then down to, if that makes sense. What we then want to do is we actually want to take all of these blocks surrounding this empty space here, and we want to add another row coming behind them. So like all of the yellow terracotta and all of the yellow concrete, add another row coming behind. So to create something that's kind of cave-like really. We then want to place, coming backwards from this space, we want to grab our stone slabs, and we want to place a row of stone slabs here from the yellow terracotta to the yellow concrete like this, and then a row of stone slabs behind this, and then extend it up 1 row like that. We then want to use our green terracotta, and we want to place a row of green behind the stone slabs. We want to be able to have a door on top of this middle block. So like we want to be able to have a door right here. And then we also want to have green terracotta surrounding the door like this. So we want to have something which should look like that. We're then going to use a wooden button to simulate a doorbell. Just like that. That's wonderful. And whilst we are messing around with the entrance, just to the right of the entrance here, where you like place the doorbell, but in front of the yellow concrete, we want to place an oak fence. And on top of that fence, a glowstone. And then all the way, well, on top of that glowstone, an oak wood slab. And then we want to place wooden trapdoors around this, like that. So we just want to have something which should look like this. Incidentally, whilst we are doing stuff to the front of the house, we want to place oak wood slabs in front of the bottom of the 2 windows, like this. And also, we want to use our, we want to use a tripwire hook, and we need some jungle leaves and a red carpet. Underneath this left window, we're going to place jungle leaves underneath the 2 right panes, or right blocks, with red carpet on top. We're also going to place a tripwire hook, which I do believe is a hose pipe, underneath the left-hand side of the window. We also want to use shrubs, and we want to place 2 shrubs underneath the 2 middle blocks of the right window. This is just to further add detail that you would find on the original Clarence house. Now, once you have that sorted out, I think that it might be time, you know what, we might even add the garage door whilst we're here, okay? So, this is the garage, this front left-hand side. If you know anything about the house, I'm sure that you guys already knew that. So, we want to first of all place a row of yellow terracotta in front of the garage at the bottom. So, like going from left to right, connecting to this side diagonally and this side diagonally. We then want to place 2 rows on top of this yellow terracotta. That's 1 and 2, just like that. For the next row, going from left to right, place a yellow terracotta, glass, yellow terracotta, glass, yellow terracotta, glass, yellow terracotta, with an entire row of terracotta on top of that. We also need some oak wood slabs. We're going to place an oak wood slab in front of the very lower bottom middle of the door. So like this, corresponding with the middle glass, halfway off the ground, we want to have that, and that is like the garage door opener. And directly above the garage door, we want to use yellow concrete to completely fill in the upper half of the garage, like this. Which will give us something which should look exactly like that. And you can see that's looking quite detailed. Once you've got that sorted out, we can move on to the next bit. So, we now want to come to the right-hand side of the house. If you remember far back, when we placed this row of yellow concrete coming across the top of the house, I said that we had to do 2 things. One of those things was doing all of this. The second one of those things was to take this block and do 4 upper right diagonals from it, coming towards the back of the house. 1, 2, 3, 4. Followed by 4 bottom right diagonals. 1, 2, 3, 4. We then want to go down by 3. 1, 2, and 3. And then we want to connect to the ground using yellow terracotta. We then want to take those yellow terracottas and we want to extend them towards the front of the house, both of them connecting to the front. Then on top of this row of yellow terracottas, going from left to right, we want to place a yellow concrete, 2 glass, yellow concrete, 2 glass, yellow concrete. And we want to repeat that row 1 more time. So wherever you place the concrete, place concrete. Wherever you place the glass, place the glass. We're then going to make the rest of this half of the house out of yellow concrete. So just fill it all up using yellow concrete. We also want to use oak wood slabs underneath the windows. So in front of the lower half of the windows is a better description, but you guys get the idea. Now coming to the back of the house, we want to take the 2 yellow terracotta blocks and we want to extend them, coming across the back of the house, each by 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And that should correspond, by the way, with that side of the entrance. And of course, we want to have the same thing stacked directly on top. The windows that we have on the front of the house want to be copied onto the back. So this means that we take this row of terracotta that we placed, and starting from the left, we place 4 glass, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 concrete, 1, 2, and 4 glass, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we will copy the exact same row directly onto the next part. And we'll also place yellow concrete on top of the remaining terracottas to raise them up as high as the windows. And then we want to add 2 additional layers of yellow concrete on top of this to make the back of the house as high as the front. We also want to place a row of yellow concrete in front of this last row of terracotta and concrete like this, so it's sticking out. Oh, and also we want to place oak wood slabs underneath the 2 windows. So when I say underneath, what I really mean is in front of the lower half of those windows. We then want to use our yellow concrete, and we want to take the top row of yellow concrete that we placed coming out of the back of the house, and we want to do 4 upper right diagonals from the concrete. So that's like 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. And then 4 bottom right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we want to be able to connect down to the ground. You can then completely fill in the back part of the garage, because I couldn't find any info for what the actual back part of the house looked like. So you want to fill in the back part of the garage in using your yellow concrete. We also want to join the left-hand side of the garage together, front to back, using our yellow concrete. So simply, like I said, going from the front to the back, simply use your yellow concrete to connect one side to another, like this. Perfection. Now, once you've done that, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add a little bit more detail again. For this, we need red concrete, nether brick stairs, and nether brick slabs. On the left-hand side of the house, I don't know if this is like a shed or a doghouse or whatever, but on the left-hand side of the house, about 4 blocks in from the front, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going to place a row of 3 red concrete. 1, 2, 3. We're going to extend that concrete out by 2 rows, 1, 2, and then we're going to add 1 row on top. So we're just going to add 1 row on top. We then want to extend the middle row upwards by 1, which we will then place, actually, what we want to do, is it this? Okay, so we want to take the, okay, actually extend all of the rows upwards by 1, and then the middle block up by an extra 1, so it's 3 rows high. We then want to place nether brick stairs on the side of this, coming all the way up to the top. So nether brick stairs on the side of this, coming all the way up to the top like this. We want to extend the nether brick stairs forwards by 1 row, like this. And then we want to place an upside down brick underneath the overhanging row of nether brick stairs, with a row of nether brick slabs coming across the top like this, so to join everything together. We then want to use our spruce wood slabs to create kind of just like a little bit of mess in front of the shed, the whatever this is, and we just want to create just like a little bit of mess using these spruce wood slabs like that. It can be in any sort of pattern that you want, but that one looks alright to me. Now, once you've got that sorted out, what I'm also going to do is the roof, because of course this thing needs a roof. First, we're going to concentrate on the garage. On the left-hand side of the garage, we want to place a row of purple concrete on the left-hand side of the garage, like just a row of purple on the left-hand side of the garage. We then want to build up rows of purple concrete coming up the sides of the triangular part of the roof. This will be like many roofs that you have made before. You simply want to stack your purple concrete coming up and on the side of the roof like this. So like on that side, you just want to build it up. And on this side, it is a little bit different, but I'll tell you what, first of all, we'll just place like the roof. So like we just want to, we want to pretty much have the exact same thing on this side too. Like this, so we just want to build it up very simply, very boring. It'll end up looking a little something like this. We also want to do the same thing on the right hand side. However, we want to place, starting on the side of the build, we want to place like a triangular formation of purple concrete on the side of the roof, coming all the way down like this. And then we want to take those purple concrete blocks and we want to extend them, coming across the front of the house, connecting to the roof that we have for the garage. So we just want to connect it all the way over to this side here, where we have the garage. And then we can apply the last little bit of detail to the roofs, because this is just the basic part of the roof. And if you wanted to leave it like this, if for whatever reason you found that you like this look better, then you don't have to apply like the additional detail to the roof, which I'm going to show you in a second. But I personally think that it looks way better if you extend the roof out a little bit and like join it all up so that it looks all nice and neat. But that's just me anyway. So we're just connecting the two roofs together at the moment, just the right hand side to the middle, and then like I said, you can decide whether or not you want to make it look just a tad bit nicer. And when I say a tad bit nicer, that what am I doing? A tad bit nicer, that is just according to me. So we just want to have these two halves joined together, and you'll end up with something that looks very basic. It looks exactly like this. But what you can do is you can take the blocks at the front of the garage, extend them one row towards you so that it overhangs the front of the house, which I think already looks a little bit better. But then you can join them up underneath to make them look a bit neater so that everything does join together very nicely. So you could do that. And of course, we want to do the same thing on this side of the house as well. So we just want to place the purple blocks and we want to join them all together underneath like this. And then if we come to the back of the house as well, we can do literally the exact same thing back here too. So we can just connect all of this together, make it look all nice and neat, just like that. And if we come to the front of the house now, you can see, or at least I think, it looks a lot nicer. It looks a lot neater, a lot better, just like this. There's one more thing missing off the house. The house has a satellite dish, which we're going to use cobblestone wall and white concrete for. If we come to the top of the roof, where both of the roofs intersect, so the middle of this like T shape that we have here, we want to place a cobblestone wall on top of this, and then 3 white concrete on top of that. 1, 2, 3. Take the middle concrete, extend it forwards and backwards like this, and then take the very middle of this and extend it towards you by 2 using cobblestone wall. 1, 2, like this. So we just want to have something which should look exactly like that. We then want to use stone slabs, and we want to create a nice pathway. So we first of all want to take the ends of the garage and we want to dig them out. And I just want to dig out an area that I'm going to be filling in using stone slabs. So like this, right? So I just want to dig about this much out coming in front of the garage. I'd say that is about, let me have a look after I've just dug this out. I'd say that's about what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's like 9 rows out in front of the garage or so. All of this I want to have filled in using stone slabs. I also want to create a pathway from the front of the house here, so from like where the entrance is, and I want to have that. I want to extend these stone slabs forwards by how many? Like 3, like 1 row, 2 row, and 3 rows like that. And then I'm going to extend it in the ground a bit more, like 1, 2, 3. And I'll just fill that in using the stone slab. So this will connect to the garage, the driveway, and then you'll be able to like walk from there to the front of the house. There's also a rock here, which is quite prominent as well. So if you just use like grey concrete, like in this position here, just to create kind of like a rocky formation, like something like that would look just fine. Maybe even make it look, maybe even like a tad, you know, maybe even like it's not just man-made like that. That looks just fine. There is also a tree on the front right-hand side of the house, which we just need an oak sapling and bone meal for. Now, I'm actually going to save this because we don't want the tree to be too big. So if we somehow grow a giant tree, I'm not saving it. So, like a tree here, front right-hand side of the house, somewhere close to the property line, we're going to grow an oak sapling and we're going to bone meal it. That is a little bit small, but better than a huge tree. I'm just going to trim this right-hand side off because there's going to be a fence going this side here. Yeah, that could be worse, but, you know, that's a fine-looking tree. there's a fence that goes all the way around the house. So I already have the what I'm calling the property lines laid out. So I'm just going to place a row of spruce wood planks that starts on the front left-hand corner of the property line of Clarence's house, like the box that I've created, and it's going to come all the way around the side, the back, and then the right-hand side, and it's going to create what I would describe as a staple shape. So like, you know, like a capital, not a capital, like an N, like a U, whatever. So kind of like that, right? And then I'm just going to add another row on top of this. So I'm going to add another row of spruce wood planks on top of this. And then what I'm going to do after that is I'm going to use my spruce wood slabs, and I'm going to create a much more realistic looking fence shape. So you know, like those picket fences, and I'm pretty sure like what a picket fence is, it's like you've got the flat bit and then it's like pointed, so kind of like it's like a long triangle, kind of looks like a spear but wider. It's pretty much the same thing. So now that we have like a basic fence like this, I'm just going to use spruce wood slabs, and I'm going to, I wish I had a better picture because I don't know, I'm going to use my spruce wood slabs, and I'm going to, every other block I'm just going to raise up using spruce wood slabs, and gotta be careful here, just to create that sort of like picket fence look. And I should, yeah, I think that this should be fine because there's an odd number of blocks on the front, so this shouldn't go wrong. And I think that there's an odd, oh, it's went wrong coming across the back, but that's okay, that's fine. And we'll just pretend that there's no problem whatsoever, and we'll just create this sort of picket fence look. Really, it should be here. Maybe it might have been an idea to make the back one row wider, perhaps, so that the look kind of goes like, you see, coming across the back, the pattern doesn't really work. If this wasn't a tutorial, if this was my own personal version, then I would make it so that the picket fence kind of like lined up together, but it doesn't on this particular side. It's not really a big deal. I of course want to do, so these are the last two things that I'm going to do, and both of these I'm not going to do on recording, okay? So I'm going to fill in the driveway using stone slabs, and I'm also going to replace all of the grass inside the property, and you don't have to do this next part. I'm going to replace all of the grass inside of the property, like, with lime terracotta, just to make it stand out from the grass. It makes it pop a little bit more. So I'm going to do both of those things, all right? I'm going to do both of those things, and then I'm going to show you what the house looks like once that's all been done. But you guys, I'm sure you'd be able to do that without this part of the tutorial anyway. This is just to save a bit of time off the video. And this is what the house will look like if you have decided to dig out all of the grass, replace it with lime terracotta, and if you have also like filled in the windows a little bit using some light blue concrete, just so that it makes the color pop a little bit more. Oh, and also of course if you fill in the drive. I think it looks a lot better like this, but if you do plan on actually using the house, then you might not want to fill in the windows as I have. It's just to make it look a little bit better from the outside, and of course for the thumbnail. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this tutorial. This is Clarence's house. I hope that you've managed to make it no problem. If you have enjoyed the tutorial, please do remember to hit that like button. Really helps me out, helps the channel out. I'm actually trying to hit 1,000 on this video. I'd really appreciate it if we could somehow make that happen. If you do enjoy the tutorials, please consider subscribing to the channel. Click the little bell next to the subscription button to keep up with all of the stuff that I've been making recently. And if you do want to check out any more things by me, the card system and the description below is the best place to go, especially the cartoon builds playlist, because of course if you can have a look in the background there, you know, we build a lot of cartoon related builds, a lot of stuff. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.